So Will.
And we are back. This is, I don't know what this is. This is like going to be our kind of our after show. Might have been a slight communication with the guest we had lined up for tonight's show, so not gonna mention any details, but just be aware that we were supposed to have a guest on tonight's show, and so now we're just gonna wing it. So pretty much, chat room, this is your time to shine. Go ahead
Well,
and
before we do that, I've just pushed the. Why don't you show the? I've just pushed the new site live. If you go to the workshop, you can view the uh, the project section of the new site. Why don't we start there,
nope,
and then they can tell us.
nope, you are too you're too needy, so I'm not going to do that. So for those just tuning in, what Jason is referring to is toyboximagineer.com, our sister site. Trying to fix your camera here, Jason. I don't know what happened with that. And yeah, so we just mentioned it on the Inside Infinity podcast for the week. So Jason, let's go ahead and bring it up on screen now. So here we go. So here we are back at, so where am I going? I got to refresh the page, right?
Yes, yeah. Hit refresh. There we have
Okay.
workshop. Should say workshop at the top
Woo,
right. Yeah.
workshop. Look at that. Gonna go and click on workshop. Maybe.
Okay, so when you click on workshop, you clicked on it, right?
Oh, yeah, but my web browser is screwing up. It's not our site. It's just that Chrome is not very happy with me. So,
Try
um,
refreshing again.
yeah, what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna take it off screen real quick. I'm gonna go fresh. Fresh and clean, clean. All right, there we go. Sweetness. I love the graphic you chose here, by the way.
Which graphic?
I don't remember his name, but
Ludwig. Ludwig
Ludwig.
von
Yeah.
Drake.
Yep.
Ludwig van Drake, yeah. Yeah, no, me too. So, yeah, so when you initially click on Workshop, this is where you're going to see all the pitch videos effectively for people's projects. Obviously, mine's the only one in there because it's only just gone live like a minute ago.
Moments ago.
And I added my first project there, which I'm kind of excited about, which I'll talk about that in a second because why not? Use the advantage. But basically, yeah, so the idea is that every pitch that goes up has to have a video. I explain this in the video that you'll see after the show, but I feel strongly that if you've got a good enough idea or an idea that you would like to see realized in the world of Disney Infinity, you have to create a video because it's like if I'm an artist and I'm going to help you contribute, I need to see the passion behind the project. I need to see in your face how excited are you for this particular project? And that may be the one thing that tips me over the edge between helping you or not helping you. So I sort of made it a requirement that you have to record a pitch video. Again, I state in the video that it doesn't have to be high quality video. It can just be on your mobile device, whatever. It doesn't really matter. As long as we can see you and see the passion behind the idea. And then a brief, like 200-word brief about what the project's all about. And then that's hopefully going to be enough to get the person to, or the user to click on the view project. This will be perfect actually, Will, because you're logged in, right? So if you click
Yep.
view project, you'll see what you see if you are a not currently involved in the project. So over the right-hand side, you get basically the producer and the director listed. When you create a project, you're automatically a producer and you're automatically the director. The reason I did that is because there are people who would have good Disney Infinity ideas, but they're not that good at the toy box. So I wanted the opportunity for them to be able to create a project and hence be a producer, but then set a toy box artist / Imagineer as a director who will then oversee the actual creation of the toy box. And effectively, once a director's on board, between the producer and the director, they have full control over the project. And so basically, Will, if you wanted to join this project, you would click the join project button and you're in, and then all of a sudden you have access then to the production tools. When you go on this page, if you're part of the production, you'll have access to a file tracker thing, which I won't go into. It's all covered in the video, but that helps you to keep track of who's got the master file and who, or if you want to tell someone to make sure they don't delete that file, there's an icon that you can set to lock the file so that they know that they shouldn't delete that file. And then the part I'm most excited about is the production diary, so that we can say people can keep track. And eventually I will make a follow button so you can actually follow projects to keep on top of the updates. But that's super exciting because it allows us to have much bigger projects that can span much longer times, and people can still stay excited about it by you providing production updates, whether that's a preview of a, for instance, for my Star Wars theme park project that I want to do, I can provide let's plays of some of the submitted toy boxes that people have created, use the community feedback to determine which of these rides do you think should make it into the final Star Wars theme park project at the end. I think that's all really exciting. I want to develop as many tools as I can for this concept of I guess large scale toy box building, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. The only other thing I want to cover is, well, if you go to the you can't edit the toy box, can you? Is there an edit at the top? What's that red thing say? Leave project, does it?
Yeah, I can't edit.
Yeah, that's when you just get really fed up with me. It's like, nah, I'm out. You can leave the project.
Leave.
But producers and directors can also kick people from a project, so that's just as important.
It is, yeah.
I'll probably put a lot more of control over that sort of thing, because at the moment anyone can join and they're in. There's currently no approval process to say, I like that you want to join the project, but I don't want you on the project. Currently that's not available because everything's so small scale at the moment that everyone sort of knows each other anyways. So it's not a mission critical feature. I didn't want to hold up launching the site because of that, so to speak. So but I just wanted to briefly go over the 4 types of projects that I anticipated coming out. When you create a project, you set your project as one of these 4 items. It's either, first is open, which is like this educational toy box project, which is pretty much like the classic top 5 that we're used to. Mm. You just come up with a theme or a concept, and people submit toy boxes to that theme. They're unrelated to each other outside of that theme. It's just open. And this is going to be a great way.
Mm-hmm.
Experienced an Aladdin playset type game where they wanted a start, a middle, and an end. Maybe they wanted a boss fight at the end and so on like that. Multiple toy box artists can be providing those boxes, and then at the end game they all get linked.
Everyone, can you hear us now? For some reason, it looks like we lost audio for a moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't. Let's run through our shots. Very strange. There's no reason we should have lost audio. Okay, so now they're saying, Jason, we can't hear you. All right, I think we're good now. My apologies.
Can you hear me now?
I'm getting sound meters, so it looks good on my end.
I'm not going to go through it again because obviously you'll be able to hear that on the replay, right?
Right, yeah, totally. That was intentional, actually.
And I covered it all on the video. Anyways.
Too funny.
I'll briefly go over those 4 again. I'll just go over that. That's how far back I'll go.
Okay.
The 4 different projects. So the 4 different types of projects is open, which is like the top 5. Anyone could submit a toy box. They're completely unrelated outside of the theme or the topic, which again will be useful for us to backfill the categories on Toy Box Imagineer Discovery page. The second is a single project type, which is a single file. The end result is supposed to be a single toy box that gets passed between artists, and that's why I created the file tracking section, so you can easily track who has the latest file and easily pass that between each other. Next was series, in which multiple boxes are connected to each other sequentially, like a traditional game level type thing, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that different artists can provide each of those levels, but then they're designed to be connected to play one after each other, so to speak. And then the final is Overworld Toy Box, which is like the Disneyland project, where there's many different boxes, but they're connected via a hub, so to speak, an overworld. That's exactly why I called it an overworld project. But yeah, I think that's a brief overview. Again, it's very much a work in progress, and I look forward to the feedback from the community about what they'd love to see added. But ultimately,
Hold up. All right, we're good now again. I don't know what is happening. It's like it's something to do with your audio because it was just going a sec. Go ahead and say something. Nope. All right. Let's.
my internet connections come good, showing white now.
All right. For whatever reason, oh, I figured it out. Wait, no. It's working on this shot, so I think we're just gonna keep this shot up the whole time. Oh, nope. Oh, 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 oh. You've reached. Oh, I figured it out. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. It's working on this shot.
I'm out of things to say.
You're out of things to say.
Where's our guest? Where's our guest?
Where is our guest? I don't think our guest is joining us tonight, and that's okay. That's all right. We have people in the chat.
As I said, everything that you couldn't hear I say in the video that I've got to edit after the show and upload. But certainly go check out the project. But more importantly, please, by all means, come up with a project, record a pitch video, and put it on the site. Don't steal my Star Wars theme park idea.
Well, it's so interesting, Jason, because we have talked so much lately about Toy Box collaboration, and it's something that, for me personally, has really invigorated my interest in the Toy Box. It's fun. I mean, I am going to answer in just a moment, Florida. It's fun collaborating with people, and this is a tool to entice that and really make that experience a little more smooth. And
it's also it's about it's making it public, because sometimes it's frustrating, if you're working on a really cool box, not to be able to have that, at least, like, you want people to know that you're working on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's cool to be able to provide updates. So you don't have to wait for a massive long project to be finished before you can demo, oh, look at this cool thing I made. The project diary allows you, if you come up with a really cool mechanic, for instance, like the Pirates ride, I could have created a nice little production video on YouTube that says, hey, check out, I've just finished the logic for this boat ride system, and I could have displayed that. And that adds anticipation for the toy box. And that's what I hope it does. I hope it generates excitement around these projects and people anticipating the final release of these projects, just like Toy Box Tales.
Right.
I mean, that's a good example of what collaboration can do. But obviously, that's on a Disney employee, got all the time in the world scale. But something like this allows us to create content like that, but spread over many, many Toy Box Imagineers. Absolutely. So that's super, super exciting.
Sonic Photo in the chat. A great project will be recreate 1.0 playsets. Could not agree more. That's an awesome idea.
Video it, upload it. That's the thing. We're such a huge community, and like it's only going to continue to grow. That like it's awesome that you can create content with a team like that, and do something that you couldn't do by yourself. Like. The current one I've got up at the moment is. Did you have to say something?
No, it's something to support this, so I'll tell it in just a second.
with the first project that I put up is something that I've wanted to do since early on, and that's educational toy boxes. I think there is such a massive opportunity as a parent. I love the idea of utilizing Disney's beloved franchises to educate children in a fun way.
Yeah.
And again, like, I could do that. I can create educational toy boxes, but I might be able to produce, at best, if I work my guts out, I might be able to produce one toy box a week or something like that. But using something like the project system in Toy Box Imagineer, all of a sudden we've got an opportunity where if every toy box artist decide, I love that idea of supporting kids and giving back to young kids, that creating something that they will benefit from potentially for generations. Yeah. If 20, 30 artists decided, yes, I will produce an educational toy box for that project, all of a sudden in 1 week we could have 20, 30 educational toy boxes that we can then publicize through social media and so on to organizations to say, hey, if you're a parent and have Disney Infinity, we highly recommend downloading these toy boxes because they will be educational for your kids.
Yeah.
And I'm particularly excited about it. I kind of got really excited about it when I thought, I've got one of the old tape on cassette books for Star Wars, the Learn the ABCs with Star Wars. You know that tape and cassette book? I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's from when I was a kid. And I realized, I thought, gee, if Star Wars is in Disney Infinity 3.0, what a powerful thing to have, to be able to create educational content using Star Wars characters. My kids will love it. And I know I've been talking to some people at Disney, and I've seen some prototype boxes that some people have built. I don't want to call them out because I don't know if it should be public or not, but I've played some educational toy boxes built for some people, and I'm actually submitting an educational toy box for the puzzle challenge. I've got to get onto that after the show. I'm submitting that this week, and I actually let my daughters play, and they love them. They absolutely love them. And so it's a hugely exciting project for me personally as a parent, and I'm sure other parents would absolutely appreciate having educational content available to them. And it really is completely open-ended. In fact, it's almost too open-ended. I might pare it down eventually, because when you think about educational apps, I mean, what is that? Is that learning to count? Is that learning colors, learning shapes, learning geography? It's so open-ended, which is also why it makes it kind of exciting. But anyway, I'm excited about the project. I'll be excited to see if anyone else is interested in helping me out in it. Yeah.
So people in the chat, Samirian said, I'd love to try a good collaboration. I'm horrible at graphical stuff, but can link one or two logic gates together for gameplay. Jason, you and I had that same exact experience just the other day building Nemo. I'm like, dude, I need this done, and it will take you a quarter of the time than it would take me to figure out how to do it for you to just do it, while I can concentrate then on doing other things. Crystal Perry is saying putting together left brain and right brain creators is really, really good thing as well with these collaborations. So,
well, that's it. And I know the big, and look, this is actually, I mean, this is a criticism, like I've ever criticized anything in Disney Infinity, but like
every other breath.
The way they're handling the summit and the way they're handling the top 5 is a roadblock to this sort of innovation. Because I understand that asking toy box, particularly the high-end toy box artists who are all desperately wanting to be invited to the summit, to ask them to put aside the top 5 time that they're clearly using to create top 5 submissions, to ask them to put that aside and instead work on projects that have zero benefit other than us featuring it on Toy Box Imagineer. Like, they get nothing out of it other than the satisfaction of creating something exceptional and great, is a big ask.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't expect, not that I don't expect, it's just I am forgiving of toy box artists who would go like, that sounds something cool that I'm happy to get into after I've defined out if I'm invited to the top 5 or not. Because the fact that if you don't get an invitation to the summit or whatnot, then why continue to try and shoehorn these toy boxes into these top 5 challenges when you can work on something much bigger and grander, which ultimately is going to be a much more inspiring statement at the end of it all because you were involved in a 6, 7 level Aladdin epic. You
Right.
know what I mean? Doesn't that sound so much more exciting and encouraging to be part of?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt competition is a good motivator, but I would argue personal interest and personal excitement could even trump that, just for something that someone wants to do and because they're enjoying it versus kind of feeling like they
Exactly.
have to just to meet some metric.
And I think the reason people like the top five, because at some point, like if you're a photographer, right, if you're really into photography, and I've experienced this many a time in my life, I enjoy photography. But unless you have subject matter, unless you have a topic to shoot, it's very difficult just to say, I'm going to go do photography.
Hmm. Right,
Like it's
right.
much easier if you're like, no, this is my subject matter. I'm going to go shoot texture. I'm going to go
Right.
shoot, shadows or whatnot. And I just think for the longest time, the Toy Box TV top five has been the only giver of topic or something to do. So as someone who enjoys working in the toy box, it's like, well, what am I going to build? Well, that's the only thing that's sort of being suggested to me. I may as well pick that. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping that this projects will provide alternatives. So if you're just like, I just want to build in the toy box, wouldn't you rather work for something that's going to have something, for instance, that can input into kids at the end of it, that literally parents will be like, thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. My child loves that toy box versus the 3 second mention from JV on Toy Box TV.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, but I'm not judging anyone for doing that. I'm currently pimping myself out at the moment to try and get invite to the summit. So, no finger pointing whatsoever. But I'm excited that there's finally going to be an alternative. As long as people utilize it, and can't wait to hear what those people's project ideas are.
Totally. Absolutely.
Sorry for waffling.
No, no, thanks, Jason. That's great. I mean, it's a tool, and hopefully it will be used because there's a lot of value. It was a recognized absence, and so Jason,
Yes.
you recognized the problem and you kind of figured out a solution, which I think is pretty awesome. Well, Jason, let's get to some fluffy, fun stuff. The
Radio.
chat's been talking. They've been giving us some great feedback on the conversation that we're having, but there are some other things in there as well. So this is just going to be for fun. If you guys have anything you want us to mention or spout out, then let us know. Florida Gators asking, what would we like to see more? Would it be cooler to see Rocket riding on Chewie or Yoda riding on Hulk? Jason, I'm
I
gonna
have
go
to
with you
go.
first.
I'm gonna have to go with Yoda on Hulk. That matching of the green. I
Hmm.
just think he would
Yeah,
look so small. It'd be phenomenal. It'd be like a pimple on his back.
yeah. I'm actually gonna go with the same thing, just because I want to see the green with the green. Although Rocket and Chewie would be pretty funny too, because they're both fluffy and they're neither one of them are cuddly, so that would be good too. So Crystal Perry wants us to discuss D23, Jason. So what do you think D23 is going to be like this year? I mean, at that time we should pretty much know all there is to know about Disney Infinity. I mean, not everything, but D23 is happening mid-August, and that's after E3, and E3 is where we're probably going to get the majority of the Disney Infinity 3.0 information. So,
Yeah.
so what do you think D23 is going to be like? Do you think the summit's going to happen at the same time or around there?
I'd have no idea about that. But I just know in my gut, I think this is probably going to be one of the greatest D23s. And there hasn't been that many. What, there's only been like, what, three, four, something like that?
Yeah, I don't. I honestly, I just caught wind of it. I think two D23s ago.
I just think, as if you're a Parks fan, I think this is going to be a must be at event.
Hmm.
I am a Parks fan. Chances of me getting there are slim to none.
Unless we kick up
Um,
that Patreon.
exactly. Um, but I think there's going to be, I think they're really going to pull back the curtain on the what do you call it, the Avatar
Mm.
expansion at Disney World, and I'd be shocked if we don't get details on the Star Wars additions to the redesigned Hollywood studios or whatever it is at Disney World. So I think if you're a Star Wars fan and a parks fan, I think this is just a must-attend event.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, I think it is because it is going to be a landmark D23. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney Infinity goes all out there. Like, maybe they do save something for that particular event.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I whether or not the summit's going to be there, I doubt it will be the exact same time because there's a good chance that a lot of summit members would want to attend aspects of D23, and so if they're both going on at the exact same time, then that's going to take something away from the other. Do expect something though around that week. It just kind of makes sense and it lines up perfectly to last year. And yeah, I agree. It would be a perfect opportunity for them to really bring in the Disney Infinity into kind of the greater Disney fold. They could even have a panel presentation, a live presentation, like they kicked off last year's summit. So, they had a live stream, and that would fit perfectly for a D23 summit, assuming it wasn't just, well, I mean, fan service isn't the right word, but just a presentation for the summit attendees. And you could argue whether or not last year was that because it was live streamed. But yeah, I think it would be it'll be cool. I am planning to go, and Tesla Blitz in the chat is asking if there's any tips. Still deciding whether or not they want to go. Advice would be, if you do plan on going, start lining up stuff now. Start looking at hotel prices and park tickets, even though you're probably a little bit more okay with that because you have a lot more availability there. But then also the D23, the earlier you purchase tickets there, the cheaper it is. What else? Crystal Perry's asking if there's going to be a fan meetup. Yes, there will be. We're still working out the details, but we are going to be hosting a fan meetup for the Disney Infinity community, not just our listeners, because we will be partnering with the other community leaders. And so details incoming on that, but that's something we are really excited about. And if we can work it out, we are going to have multiple live podcasts at the event, including hopefully that fan meetup. It would be kind of cool to have a panel live with that. So yeah, D23 is going to be big this year. It's a was it every other year event, and so
It's Anaheim, right?
Anaheim, yep, Anaheim Convention Center, which is right across the street from Disneyland.
That would seriously be an ultimate, because I'm I will not be happy until I see the Hatbox Ghost back in the Haunted Mansion. So that's literally, I'd seriously consider flying to the States, going to Disneyland one day, and then flying home. I'd seriously consider it just to be able to see the Hatbox go. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe a fairy godmother will provide me a plane. Who knows? But I really would love to go to D23. But I'm also hopeful that the way that they covered Star Wars Celebrations, at least if they can provide that kind of coverage online, I'll be happy with that too. Because arguably, so you probably saw more from the live stream than you would have seen if you were, on hand. So, and I could always pay $300 for a, D23 exclusive Luke Skywalker. I don't have to be there for that. So.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you could bribe someone to get that taken care of for you.
Exactly. So,
live streaming is something that's become more and more prominent at these types of events, and it's
because of us. We've inspired them,
right? Of course. I mean,
yeah.
Disney Infinity TV is what inspired live streaming of Disney stuff. But it's actually becoming almost an expectation, and so that's something that we hopefully we will get for those that aren't able to make it. What up, Jay? Welcome to the chat. Didn't think you were going to make it, but glad you're there. Jason, my friend, that's 30 minutes. What do you say? Should we wrap it up for the week?
Just before we do, could I give my prediction for 3.0?
Oh, yes, please.
I didn't get to mention it last week. Too respectful of our guests. I wanted to let their opinions be said. But if I had to guess, I've got two statements. I think I said to you after the show, or was it post show? I think the reason that Disney Infinity wasn't unveiled at Star Wars Celebrations was because I think there's a much bigger Disney component to 3.0. And I think that's probably the reason that if it's not like Marvel was, where it's total Marvel saturation,
Mm-hmm.
I think that they realize that's not the place to announce it. So
Right.
I'm going to take that as a positive anyway. Again, I have no inside knowledge, but I'm just saying I think it's going to be a much better mix of Disney play sets, Disney original play sets, and Star Wars play sets. That's
Yep.
my guess. But as far as actual play sets are concerned, I think it'll launch with a Rebels, Star Wars Rebels based playset. I believe we'll get a Star Wars Force Awakens playset post Star Wars Awakens release, which
Okay.
is again a reason why I think maybe we didn't get any details straight off the bat, because it makes sense that even though again playsets had never been focused on the actual story, chances are there'll be character spoilers
Right.
in the Disney Infinity figure. So I think we'll get a Star Wars Force Awakens playset post film launch, and then a Star Wars Originals playset. That's my prediction. So we get Rebels, Star Wars Originals, Star Wars Force Awakens, and then accompanying probably at least one or two Disney Originals playsets. That's my prediction.
I will.
Just wanted to make that publicly to see
so,
how I go.
so it will be your idea if it does turn out that way.
Exactly.
Well, my support's behind you. I will default to that. That sounds like a pretty good guess to me.
Because my thinking
Speculation.
is like young kids, like my daughters, I've tried to show them Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
They're not into it like we are, and the target audience is the kids. So Rebels is the only thing that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense, and it makes sense to have that as an entry point, to have Rebels as your main go-to thing, because that's the most known to the current demographic.
Mm-hmm.
You have this sort of behind, sort of push to the back Star Wars Originals playset to appease the older audience,
Right.
and then obviously all the hype's going to be around Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
everything, because I believe all the rides and stuff that they've announced. I haven't announced any rides, but I believe they've announced that all the Star Wars theme park stuff is going to be based on the new Star Wars content, not old Star Wars content. So
Yeah.
if that's the thinking of Disney, it makes no sense to feature the Return of the Jedi playset.
Yep. So people in the
So
chat are asking what Disney playsets, or do you even want to go down that road?
I have zero idea, honestly. It's too, like, honestly, it's pretty hard to roll the
Yeah.
dice wrong, to be honest. Like, I'll take anything. I'd love to see something classic. I really would love to see like the likes of a Peter Pan or a Robin Hood. I think it probably will be more based on the upcoming releases, um, like Inside Out, or what else is there any other Disney animated major releases coming
Good
out soon?
Good Dinosaur.
Yeah,
Um,
can't see that being one.
no, I don't see that either. What other Disney animation coming out in the near future? Is there? I mean, there's a whole lot of live action.
Yeah, like I don't think
Logan.
Tomorrowland would get one.
No. Logan, tap into your oh, he's not in there anymore. Mouseflix knowledge. So yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. But I think as long as there is, I mean, I just think one Disney Originals playset will bring a sigh of relief to the Disney fans.
Yep, agreed.
So, and they'll already be, much more respected as far as the current community is concerned because they listened, so to speak. So, yeah, whether they'll make the same deal like last time where it comes out strong Star Wars so we don't see Disney Originals content till 6 months down the track. I hope not.
Yeah,
But nonetheless, it's so exciting to finally have it revealed. So
absolutely.
hopefully not much longer to wait.
Well, on that note, Jason, let's hope it's going to be next week. And in fact, we are betting the house that we will see something on May the 4th, next Monday. So much so that we have a special roundtable with quite a few members of the community next week. So we have Lauren, Star Wars expert, even released a Star Wars video with Logan today on what characters they expect to see with Star Wars. So go ahead and check out our YouTube channel for that, because that is pretty cool. We are also going to have good friend Pirate Steven on next week's roundtable. And last but not least, who was the last person? We just signed up one other special guest that is a toy box artist. So our plan is we are lining up toy box artists in case there is no Star Wars. Oh, Enrum's coming back and going to talk to us. So if it's not going to be a Star Wars conversation, I'm sure we'll mention it at least briefly if there's no announcement next week, just because it is May the 4th. You have to talk Star Wars May the 4th. But worst case scenario, we get to talk some toy boxes from some of the greats. So that is the plan for next week's roundtable. We are going to reschedule tonight's guests. Really excited to have them on. So we will have them on in a future roundtable, hopefully the week after May the 4th. So that, everyone. Jason, do you have anything else you want to kind of finish up with?
No, I just kicked you from my project. I don't think you got the skills, so sorry about that.
Oh, boo. All right. Well, I guess I got to brush up on them. Or maybe I'm just going to pitch my own new project and not invite you.
Nemo loses, it's your fault. Just remember.
It's probably true. Awesome, buddy. Well, I do think this has turned out to be a pretty successful roundtable. Stay tuned in the chat. I want to mention something else after the show, non-Infinity related. So if you want to continue to hear us talk tonight, you can do that. With that, Jason, wanna thanks everyone again for coming out and joining us. We're gonna see you next week for Inside Infinity podcast, right, Jason?
Yeah.
All right. Make sure everyone go check out toyboximagineer.com and disneyinfinity.tv. With that, everyone, thanks for joining us on the roundtable, and we will see you next week. We hope you enjoyed this week's Inside Infinity podcast and the Inside Infinity Roundtable. If you like what we do, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, check out our partner network, res.tv, and look for us on Twitter and Facebook.